Protocol initiated at 0600 hours. You insert yourself into the uniform. You navigate the traffic grid. You intake the overpriced stimulant and breach the glass tower perimeter. You tell yourself this is what a provider does, a builder, a necessary asset in the grand design. But let's debrief the reality. You don't build. You don't fix. If your unit was extracted from the matrix tomorrow, the system wouldn't even register a glitch. You allocate 40 hours a week to processing phantom emails and shuffling digital paperwork. You produce absolutely nothing of strategic value. Welcome to the email job. You are not a corporate warrior. You are an infant in an adult daycare center, sedated with just enough capital to keep you pacified and tax compliant. But here is the critical intelligence they are hiding. The system didn't create these useless roles by accident. There is a dark mathematical protocol behind why they pay you to exist in that cage. And once you see it, you'll realize your position is already scheduled for deletion. Decades ago, the original projections were leaked. Economists calculated that by the 21st century, advanced automation would reduce human deployment to 15 hours a week. The machines would handle the friction, and we would be unleashed. The technology arrived, but your extraction didn't. Instead, you are logging 60-hour cycles. Why? Because the architects of the Matrix panicked. If millions of high-energy males suddenly acquired unrestricted time and resources, they would build parallel structures. They would question the chain of command. They would become a tactical threat. So they initiated a global containment protocol, the bullshit job. Middle management, synergy consultants, HR administrators, roles engineered strictly to justify the existence of other roles. You are currently stationed inside a psychological pacification zone. You sit in a climate-controlled holding cell under artificial illumination, executing digital tasks that a basic algorithm could neutralize in 3 seconds. They issue a salary to keep you docile. They surgically remove your biological imperative for real friction, real danger, and real conquest. You return to your base camp completely drained, not because you engaged in combat, but because your nervous system knows you spent the entire cycle doing absolutely nothing. But what happens when the architects decide this containment protocol is suddenly too expensive to maintain? Your instinct is to engage the established protocol. You believe that by transmitting data at 2100 hours on a Friday, the corporation will classify you as a high-value asset. You believe that acquiring a senior designation on your digital profile means you've successfully infiltrated the upper echelon. Let me decode this illusion. Modern corporate promotions are just heavier chains coated in a slightly shinier metal. And when the reality of your containment sets in, you attempt the modern cope, quiet quitting. You believe that executing the bare minimum is an act of tactical rebellion. You think you're outsmarting the Matrix. Negative. Quiet quitting is nothing more than comfortable surrender. You are still locked inside the perimeter. You've just decided to sit in the corner of the cell and stop testing the bars. You are trading your most vital operational years for a digital currency that bleeds purchasing power every single cycle. You are decaying comfortably. You think human resources is your ally. You think the corporate culture is your platoon. But comfort is a psychological trap, and that trap is about to become violently expensive. This is the ultimate intelligence leak the Matrix is desperately trying to suppress. You are not an asset. You are an operational expense, and the architects have finally engineered a method to execute a mass extraction. For decades, they required human batteries to manually transport digital intel from one sector to another. Not anymore. Artificial intelligence doesn't require dental insurance. It doesn't file grievances with human resources regarding microaggressions. It doesn't require a morale-boosting pizza party, and it never powers down. The email job is officially classified as a ghost ship. If your entire operational skill set involves moving data across a monitor and speaking corporate jargon, your unit is obsolete. The white-collar illusion is collapsing in real time. Millions of operatives who spent their 20s and 30s learning how to be agreeable office workers are about to be neutralized by a $20 monthly automated subscription. You have been insulated from physical and mental friction your entire life. You don't know how to sell. You don't know how to build. You don't know how to repair anything in the physical realm. You are completely defenseless. But simply acknowledging that the digital guillotine is dropping doesn't secure your extraction. Stop begging for rations in the digital daycare. The only way to survive the Great Purge is to become an undeniable asset in the physical realm. You must acquire high-friction skills, skills that inflict pain to learn, skills that the algorithm cannot replicate by 0800 hours tomorrow. Advanced sales, deep technical coding, high-level persuasion tactics, physical engineering. You need the capacity to solve complex, messy human problems that require deep, undistracted focus. Initiate a new protocol this weekend. Select one high-friction skill and deploy 10 hours to master its foundation. No notifications, no dopamine injections, no scrolling. Let the NPCs fight over the last middle management rations while the transport ship sinks. You need to construct a lifeboat, and you need to build it now. The corporate matrix is unplugging its human batteries, and sure, your unit isn't one of them. If you want to decode the rest of this simulation and survive the extraction, you cannot operate blind. I have the remaining blueprints, but the architects are actively hunting these leaks. Secure your encrypted connection. Hit the subscribe button now before they neutralize this transmission. Class dismissed.